badge says Chevy, but the body says Toyota. Here is Mike Bliss's 2010 Wave Energy Chevrolet Impala. Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again, back with another custom NASCAR diecast review, and today's car is going to be a little bit different. It is a custom COT from 2010. It is Mike Bliss's 2010 Wave Energy Toyota Camry. It's a Chevrolet? What? Yeah, fun little fact about it. The mold for this car is actually the Toyota car. Believe it or not, it's actually built off a 2008 Tony Stewart. I tell you what, the Tony Stewart car was a junker. If you've seen that junkyard haul I made a couple months ago, it was one of those beat-up Toyota Camrys, right? When I was making this car, I accidentally used the wrong mold. I, for whatever reason, thought it was a Toyota. But no, in 2009, when Tommy Baldwin Racing had, the 36 car and all that jazz, they were using Toyotas. Well, in 2010, they switched over to Chevrolets. I didn't realize that because the photos I was looking at for this car didn't have a bow tie or anything. It just had the grill inlets. They switched over to Chevrolet. So I put the Chevrolet decals. Ironically enough, it's a Toyota. So over here to the nose of this car, you got Wave Energy Drink, and the yellow. The front windshield is pretty yellow. The back windshield a little bit. I did put some floor gloss on it to try to give it a little bit more clarity because, like I said, it was a really rough Tony Stewart Toyota Camry from 2008. It needed to be stripped apart and rebuilt. So, of course, once again, this was a 2010 car. Well, what was funny about this is it didn't include the proper decals for it, right? I don't think it had the bow tie, or it did have the bow tie, but it didn't have the Impala logo. So, I was like, well, I was digging around trying to find the 2010 Impala logo, because if you don't know already, 2009, they had the Impala SS. In 2010, they just had the Impala. Well, I actually had to take a decal, I think from the 2009 Jeff Burton car. I cut off the SS part and I just put Impala. So it's not supposed to be a forward/font. It's supposed to be kind of a bold, non-forward fonts, but it is what it is. So over here to the front of the car, again, this is built with the floor polish, which is something that I've been kind of experimenting with. Testing to see how things yellow. It might look a little yellow on camera, but that's because it's picking up the windshield here, which I'm looking at with the naked eye, and it doesn't look yellow to me, at least not yet. So I'm hoping it doesn't yellow too quickly. So you got the bow tie there, you got Impala. This car was kind of an off-color blue, right? It's like a purplish blue. I looked around at my local store trying to find the closest can of paint to it. This was it. On camera, it's much darker. Off camera, it's literally identical to like a periwinkle blue. But on camera, oh my god, it looks so much better. It kind of makes me think I actually picked the right car. Because the real car is a lot more darker, so it makes me think I actually picked the right paint, thank the Lord. So you got the number 36 here, TVR, Chevrolet Impala, mechanics were Moog, Wix air filters. I tell you what, these logos down here are extremely hard to place. I did paint the little brackets down here. I did paint those silver. But yeah, the little Sunoco decal and all that jazz, those are extremely hard to place. Then you have to put clear coat over them to get them to stay. It is a chore. And you know what was funny is that I have plenty of Chevrolet bodies. So, I mean, if I really wanted to, if I would have known that this was supposed to be on a Chevrolet, I wouldn't have even went to the trouble stripping a Camry, because I'm low on Camry parts, right? They're a lot harder to get because obviously less drivers use them. But the Chevrolets, I mean, they're a dime a dozen pretty much with all the overproduced Dale Juniors. That's being a Dale Jr. fan, I might add. So you got the Mike Bliss name banner there. You got Wave Energy Drink. I think he had 2 cars in 2010 that have the Wave Energy stuff on there. I think you have this paint scheme, which, to my knowledge, ran for the Daytona 500. I don't know everything about this car. But there was another paint scheme that they kind of changed it up a little bit. I hope to make that car someday. So you got the NASCAR race car logo there. It's a little bit crooked. That's my mistake. You got NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, Coors Light Pole Award, 3M, Rebestos, Lincoln Welders, Mobile One, DirecTV. And of course, this whole 36 logo, all that jazz, this was all part of this, except for the Goodyear, this whole Wave Energy Drink logo. This is all separate stuff, it's all one big piece, and you have to place it. And this was a really tricky part here, because when I was doing the car, I noticed the Wave Energy logo was a little too big. It had 2 options here. I could lower the entire decal down, which in my opinion wouldn't look too well. Or I could, you know, put the back window in and just kind of have it overlapping a little bit. Well, that's actually how it's supposed to look. You know, if you remember back in 2002, 2003 with the Tide car, the Tide logo would go up like this. So it did go over the back windshield a little bit, right? Well, if you go back to NASCAR Thunder 2003, I believe the Tide logo is actually over the rear window, which I didn't even think was possible, right? I didn't even know you could actually put logos there. No, apparently when they made the car, they actually they allowed them to put it over the back window a little bit for the video game. Like they actually went back and edited it to do that. So I was like, you know what? I put the back window in before this thing was even really clear coated. I put that logo on there, clear coated it, make sure it was try to get as flat to it as possible. But yeah, I was really happy with the way it came out, because that's how it's supposed to be on the real car. And you got SEM and whatever the logo that is. So over here to the back end of this car, you got TasteTheWave.com. I think they still make this energy drink. I don't know when, I don't know where. I don't drink energy drinks myself. Notice the painted brackets here, the little chrome pieces, and also notice how the middle of the spoiler is painted black, but the winglets are the correct blue. There was no sponsor logo for the blue. I would have put those there if I could. But I spray painted the whole car, right? I had to mask everything and carefully, I'm talking extremely carefully, paint around this whole spoiler, right? It's extremely hard to do because if it runs down, it ruins the car. It's a difficult process, but I love doing it, you know. So you got a spare tail light there, you got your 36 there, you got your bow tie there. But once again, this is a Toyota Camry mold, but with the Chevrolet stuff on there. If I would have known better, well... I would have built it on the Chevrolet. But you know, it's kind of funny, and it probably makes more sense that way because they switched over from Camry to Chevrolet between 2009 and 2010. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially since they didn't have the bow tie logos on there. There was a few parts that were Toyota. I wouldn't be surprised. They are an underfunded team. And then over here to the right side of this COT, you got, of course, you know, Wave Energy Drink. Once again, you got the number 36, you know, and I don't know why, but I was in the mood to build Tommy Baldwin racing cars. And of course, it took me like 2 months of these decals to get in because of the whole global COVID crap. But yeah, you know, patient enough, a little frustrated. But hey, once the car came in, got the blue, got all that jazz, put it together, I was just unbelievably happy with it. You know, I made this car, the Patrick Carpentier 2009, and the Robert Richardson Jr. Mahindra car that he drove at Talladega. So I made both of those custom. So that's 3 Tommy Baldwin racing cars. And if you want to see those other 2 reviews, I'll have links to them down below in the description. Those were super fun to build, honestly. And you can see how the whole car looks very yellow. It kind of looks like a faded photograph a little bit. Well, for whatever reason, when I try to focus on the roof here, it's picking up the yellow from the clear, right? But whenever I do this, watch this. I put it over on the bottom, get a little bit of adjustment. Check this out. Bam! You see the difference? It is significantly different. This is how it actually looks. Obviously, the blue is a little bit lighter, but yeah, it's a lot more clear. I'm still learning, you know, how to do these customs. You know, it's a process. But look how shiny those windows are. That's floor polish. You know, this was the first Windows actually put that stuff on, so, you know, maybe I'll use that for future ones. You know, of course, these are slightly yellow. That was the only ones I had, I might add. But, yeah, you know, maybe for future cars, you could put that on there. It gives it a little bit more shine. And, of course, over here on the deck lid, you got TasteTheWave.com. Alrighty, folks, that is it for today's NASCAR Diecast review. A custom 2010 Mike Bliss Wave Energy, well, bootleg Chevrolet Impala. The only noticeable difference really is the back window, but to be honest with you, I ain't worried about it. Look, it's a custom. You gotta use what you gotta do. This is why I keep a spare junkyard, right? I keep a whole bunch of chipped up, destroyed COTs. I buy them, I put them in the junkyard, and I use them for customs. I go around, I pick different parts off different cars because some cars have parts that you can use and some cars don't. Like, just because the winglet's broken on it doesn't mean the windows ain't good or the chassis ain't good, you know? There's different parts, you know, they say there's, different courses for different horses or whatnot. It's a little like a junkyard. You gotta find different parts off different cars for different projects, and that's what I like to do. I like to take different parts off different ones and to make customs, to give them a new life. You know, if they're all chipped up, well, guess what? They're just gonna continue to fall apart until someone throws them away. Instead, I like to make something of it. Anyways, folks, let me know what y'all think about this 2010 Wave Energy Chevrolet down below in the comment section. I would love to know what you think about it. Yeah, I worked hard on this custom. I know it's not perfect. None of my customs are perfect, and none of them will be perfect. You know, that's just the product of the business. But yeah, hope you're all having an amazing day out there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Helps out the channel tremendously. Of course, folks, coming up August 2nd, it's the NASCAR DURALAST Cup Series. Season 3 Daytona 500. We'll have a diecast review every single day, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got customs, you got new Gold Series releases, you got all kinds of amazing diecasts coming up on the channel. I got plenty. I'm excited. I love reviewing these things. So if you haven't already, hit that notification bell every day, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, hope you're all having a great one. Diecastbuffet signing off.